This is Orlando Sentinel Now.
Hello and welcome. It's Thursday, September 30th, and this is Orlando Sentinel Now. Today, we give you the latest updates in the ongoing mask mandate battle with Orange County and other school districts versus the state of Florida, and we discuss what's going on in high school sports. I'm your host, Joe Mario Pedersen, and joining me today, I have education reporter Leslie Postal and football sports reporter JC Carnahan. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, jumping right into this, I want to come over to Leslie, who's joining us on the phone here today. Leslie, I want to talk to you about one of your recent headlines here. Florida board to consider action against Orange County and 10 other districts in violation of the mask mandate ban. Now, just getting into this and exploring kind of a background here, how has Orange County and these other districts defied the rules laid out by the state of Florida?
They all voted or approved mask mandates, saying that students had to wear face masks at school. That is in violation of Governor DeSantis's order and other state rules that say parents have to be given an opt-out of any face mask rule. So that's kind of the issue in a nutshell.
So the state board is meeting next week, and they've announced that they're going to discuss whether or not these districts will be penalized. What kind of penalties could they be facing?
What they've said is that they would withhold the money equivalent to the salaries of the school board members who approved the mandates. In Orange County, that would be the salaries of all 8 board members. In a few districts, it wasn't a unanimous vote, so it would just be equivalent to whoever voted for it. But in Orange, it would be all 8 board members. It would be equivalent to their salary. So it's not a lot of money in the big scheme of things. I mean, Orange County Public Schools is a huge district with a more than $2 billion operating budget. So it would be a small amount of money, but it's kind of, just showing it makes a point, I guess.
Right. It seems like it's more of a power play than anything else. But this has been an ongoing topic now for a while. You've been doing a wonderful job keeping us updated in what's going on here and just keeping up with Orange and what their current response to this is. What have they been saying?
They have said they are sticking with what their plan is. They believe that requiring face masks has cut down on the spread of the virus on campus. They think that is the best thing to protect the safety and health of their students and their staff. And they said the mandate would be in place till October 30th, and they plan to stick with that. So they have told the state in writing, we're not backing down.
So the district is planning on not backing down. Are there any plans to issue perhaps another challenge?
Yes, and they've also said that they had previously challenged in court, actually, even the state's authority to issue a rule saying you can't have a mandate. That was dismissed when the state repealed its old rule and replaced it with a new one. And so they are thinking of refiling that challenge. They haven't made a decision on that, but they certainly might.
A lot going on here, and certainly a story that we'll be keeping you guys up to date on. So follow Leslie's work at orlandosentinel.com for more. Leslie, thank you so much. All right, JC, I want to come over to you now to talk about what's going on in local football here in high school level. So we want to talk about, first off, pretty tragic story, some tragic news coming out of this week from Citrus High. A player over in Inverness collapsed during practice and later died. What have we learned about this?
Yeah, so this took place on Tuesday afternoon. The player collapsed during practice, and there's a nearby hospital right next door to the school, but just nothing could be done for the young man. And sad situation, obviously, in the world of high school football. If I remember correctly, it was about 2 years ago is the last time that we had a high school football player in the state of Florida die, and that happened actually during a game. And it was actually later he was diagnosed with a pre-existing condition in his brain that actually factored into that player's death, and that happened over in the St. Petersburg area. So the situation that's at Citrus High School has affected Leesburg High School here locally. So that game this Friday has been postponed to a later date. That's actually a district contest between Leesburg and Citrus. But when talk about something as tragic as this, it hits everyone in the high school football community throughout the state. So I'm sure it's going to be kind of a heavy-hearted week of high school football and on the minds of many players and coaches throughout the state.
Just absolutely Horrible news, JC. Can't imagine what the team or the family must be going through. Our condolences and our thoughts and prayers for those involved. Um, but moving on here, JC, I wanted to talk about one team, Bishop Moore, which actually has a reason to celebrate this week, and that's the anniversary of an Old State championship. Can you tell us about it?
You got to go way back to 1970 for the very first high school football state championship won by an Orange County school, and that was Bishop Moore. And this celebration was put on hold last year because of COVID-19, but they will celebrate the anniversary of that 1970 team on Friday against South Sumter. There's going to be a pregame gathering at the newly built Moore Center there at Bishop Moore. And then at halftime, they'll have some recognition for the great accomplishment for that team as well. Now, it kind of comes at a good time for Bishop Moore because the season is off. This is probably one of the worst starts for Bishop Moore. They're 0-4 on the year right now. They play a very tough South Sumter team on Friday. So, find anything to celebrate right now is good for Bishop Moore. But as we've known historically, Bishop Moore always rebounds. So, if it's not this year, I'm sure in the years ahead, the Hornets will be back on top.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. Always reflect on your past successes, for sure. But JC, as we move into week 6, we've got some big games coming up here. Can you tell us what top games are you following this week?
Well, I'll give you the rundown here quickly. The game that I will be in Sanford to cover Seminole against Hollywood Chaminade Madonna. They actually finished Class 3A state runners up last year. Seminole, as we know time and time again, was the Class 8A state champion last year. So those two teams, a couple of heavyweight programs battling it out this Friday. That's the game I'll be at. Some other games to look forward to this week. It's a week of district matchups. You got DeLand playing at Lake Mary. And actually, Lake Mary has won 4 out of the last 6 in that matchup. You've also got Dr. Phillips playing at West Orange. They play for probably one of the coolest trophies in the area. It's the old Orange Crate. So the winner gets an Orange Crate to bring back to the school with them. Dr. Phillips has won 3 out of the last 5 in that series. And then finally, I want to throw out there Boone at Lake Nona. The winner of this game is in very good position to win the district, and that means a free spot into the postseason once playoff time comes around. So those are the games to look out for this week in week 6 of the regular season.
Pretty exciting stuff. For those of you who can't make those games, be sure to follow JC's work coming out Friday and this weekend. JC, thank you so much. All right, before we leave you all today, we do want to talk about Thursday's weather presented by Premier Sotheby's International Realty. Thursday's skies are looking great, mostly clear during the day and the evening. It should stay that way Friday as well, with no chance of rain during the days until Saturday when showers make their way into the forecast. As for temperatures, we're slightly cooler temperatures are inbound than they were last week, but not as cool as the beginning of this week. Thursday's high is scheduled to be 87 and the low falls to 71. Copy and paste that onto Friday, but as for the forecast for the rest of the weekend, be sure to take a look at OrlandoSentinel.com, where you can find out more about that, as well as the stories that we talked about here today, and a lot of different stories about what's going on in and around your community. For those of you who are subscribers to the Orlando Sentinel, thank you so much for supporting our work and supporting local journalism. If you want to become a supporter, it's easy to do so. All you need to do is visit OrlandoSentinel.com/subscribe. But as for OSN, that is our show here for today. A big thank you to Leslie and JC for keeping us filled in what's going on in our community. We'll be back again with more news tomorrow at noon. We'll see you then. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Watch Orlando Sentinel Now live every weekday at noon on our Facebook page and on OrlandoSentinel.com.